Welcome to Nava Podcast with Leah Cardenas and Stella Pashos.
Let's explore the true essence of Nava.
Nava embodies the concept of beauty in all its forms. It represents the inner radiance that each woman possesses and the unique qualities that make her truly remarkable.
Our mission is to share the stories of inspiring women who are making their mark in the areas of fashion, health, lifestyle, and family. Our aim is to curate meaningful conversations where the journeys and experiences of our guests can inspire you in your own life.
We started this podcast to create a space where everyone can feel beautiful, inspired, and empowered.
Nava is not just a podcast, it's a celebration of the incredible women who have shaped our lives and the countless others who are yet to share their stories.
We can't wait for you to join us. Join us for a delightful dive into the world of fashion and style with Georgia, the vibrant owner of Emma Marie Boutique. A young entrepreneur with a keen eye for design, Georgia's boutique boasts a curated collection of both Australian and international brands, making her a go-to destination for fashion enthusiasts. With a thriving Instagram following and her recent wedding as a highlight, we'll chat about her journey into entrepreneurship, explore her styling expertise, and get a glimpse of how she beautifully styled her own wedding. Get ready for a fashion-forward conversation that celebrates all things stylish and chic. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nava Podcast. I'm Leah Cardenas, and always I'm with my beautiful co-host Stella.
Hi, everyone.
And today we have the beautiful Georgia from Emma Marie.
Hello. Thanks for having me today, guys.
Thanks so much for joining us.
I'm excited.
We are so excited. This exciting episode, we get to talk to the beautiful Georgia from Emma Marie Boutique. She's a stylish owner, and with her passion for fashion and a keen eye for style, she's curated a collection of clothing that has captured the hearts of fashion enthusiasts, ourselves included, and she boasts a whopping 19.5 thousand fans on her Instagram. So we can't wait to chat with her about how she's made that all happen. But welcome so much on the podcast, Georgia.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be asked.
Before we jump in, we're going to do 90 seconds with Georgia. How old are you?
I'm 27,
Which city do you live in?
Melbourne.
Did you grow up in Melbourne?
Yes, in Berwick.
Beautiful. What's your coffee order?
An almond cap.
Do you have any pets?
I do. I have a beautiful golden retriever, Murphy.
Murphy. That's such a good name. If you were a flavour of ice cream, Leah's favourite question, what would you be?
Oh, I'd be a pistachio. Slightly sweet, but slightly nutty.
Love it.
Oh,
Leah's laughing. It's a good answer. Share a fun childhood memory that always makes you smile.
Me and my cousins used to bust out High School Musical, Hannah Montana, all those songs, and do like concerts for our whole family, which was fun.
Yes.
So cute.
What is one word to describe yourself?
Busy.
She's a busy gal.
I'm always busy doing stuff.
What is the most adventurous thing you have ever done?
Skydiving.
Do you love it?
I loved it when I was at the bottom.
Yeah.
Coming down, dying.
Can you speak another language?
No, I tried to learn Spanish for a week. And yes.
Do you remember anything?
No.
Hola.
Bathroom. Yeah, it was a fail.
I've got time for a couple more. Heels, flats, or sneakers?
Oh, I'm a bit of a mixture depending on the outfit and event, to be honest. But probably I love a sandal, so maybe flat will go.
Oh, nice. And pet peeve?
Loud chewers.
Loud chewers?
Yeah, loud eaters.
Yeah, that's fair. But how do you tell someone that they're eating loudly, or you just have to deal?
They just deal.
Yeah.
And that's time.
That's it.
Cool.
Oh, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get started. Can you please tell us a little bit about your career journey?
Yes. So I started working as just a casual 15-year-old at Emma Marie when I was 15 years old. I loved it from the get-go. I loved meeting new people, and Berwick, we're very lucky. We're a very tight little community. which is one thing I love the most. Then I went and studied. I studied business in fashion, so like fashion buying.
Cool.
Yeah, which was good. I loved that. And then I went and studied psychology, which was a very interesting and random thing to study. I didn't last really long there, but I tried it. And then I went back. I got offered a management position at Emma Marie, so I went back and started doing that, which is when I realised that one day I wanted to have my own business or take over Emma Marie. I did always put it down to my age, that I was too young, so I pushed it to the side for so many years. But yes, it was my husband, Matt, who pushed me into being like, you can do it, just do it now, you'll be right. And that's, I took over Emma Marie 2 years ago. And I love it.
Wow, that's so crazy, because I've been shopping at Emma Marie's for a while, because my friends live in Berwick. So I'd be coming to visit Berwick, and then found this cute little boutique probably like over the last 10 years, I'd say. Mm-hmm. And that's really beautiful that you worked there, and then now it's come full circle and you're an owner of this boutique. Like, that's so special. I'm very lucky, but I had lots of people to look up to along the journey and learn from, which has been amazing. It's been lots of wonderful women that have owned it and work in it. So how did the opportunity come about?
I think they were just wanting to move on, the previous owners, and I had shown my interest. It was just simple like that.
And you're only 27 now, and you said you bought it 2 years ago. So at 25, were you a little bit scared, or you were ready because you knew that was something you wanted to do?
Oh, I was so scared. I was so scared. Very scared. But I don't know. It was Matt. I wouldn't have done it without him. To be honest, pushing me, being like, you can do it. Like, you can do it. And I'm like so grateful that I did. Very grateful. Oh, I was 24.
Wow.
Took over. Which is,
I have no doubt that you were capable from the beginning, but sometimes you just need someone from the outside that knows you in so well, better than you know yourself, to just give you that strength and confidence boost. And it seemed like if the opportunity just arose, that was the right place, the right time, and you really just needed that push to get into it.
Absolutely. And I've had so much support and help, and with even like the other boutiques in the area. We're very lucky with the support we get in Berwick, and even customers, and we're like friends now.
And watching you do it with such style and grace has been a real privilege. But that imposter syndrome definitely is something that we all experience. But moving past that and looking at what you've achieved is really lovely.
Oh, thank you.
With your thriving Instagram presence, how do you stay updated with all the latest fashion trends and styles?
So I don't know if you know, but we buy like 9 to 12 months in advance.
Wow.
Yes. So it's
did not know that.
Yeah. So you do have to be very ahead. You're very ahead. And I guess I'm very lucky in terms of the brands that I stock, because they are always quite on trend. But then I also have to do my own research and things like that on, following like Europe trends. I know, Australia does follow a lot of European trends. But like I was in lockdown, sitting on the couch in my pajamas and trying to buy formal dresses for 12 months in like advance, and I was sitting there going, oh my goodness, like this is ridiculous. Are we even going to be wearing formal dresses ever again? So there's all those tricky aspects as well. But I guess we've had very loyal customers, so I also buy a lot for what our customers want, and we do buy a lot of timeless pieces, which helps as well with like a touch of on trend as well, of course.
Yeah, I feel like that would be such a challenging role to be that buyer, and also it's your business, so you have that added pressure. I can't even plan my weekend for my outfit for the weekend in advance, let alone for a year in advance. So that's really cool. I remember when I worked at Chanel, we would always or I would watch the buys happen from, or the curation of outfits that they would select, and they always had clients in mind. Is that something that you do as well when you're doing your buy? You've got your specific customers that you're like, oh yeah, that would look really good on so and so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Like nearly every showing I go to, I'll be like, oh, that'd be good for that person, that'd be good for that person, which makes my job easy.
And you're like, oh, and that'll be good on me too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always like, oh, and one for me. It's a bit dangerous.
Can you tell us a little bit about the brands that you stock and maybe how you go about selecting who you want to be in your store?
Yeah. So we try to stock mostly Australian designers. That's been a big thing from like day one. We now have a couple of European and American, but not many. Yes, being Australian designers is a huge importance for me. I just try and get brands that their items are high quality, timeless, and I like to get something with a little bit of difference as well. If it's going to be a new brand, it can't just be similar to any of our others or anything like that. Yeah.
I love that you have a lot of Australian brands in store, which is one of the reasons that I was drawn to your store. Such beautiful pieces. You can definitely tell that it has been curated and you've really thought about the different textures and colours and things like that. It's a pleasure to go in store.
Yes, you and your family always in. Love having you there.
It's kind of like, that store that you just need to go in once and you find an outfit and then you're like, yeah, this is my store.
Yeah.
And for any event, that you'll find something. What do you find most rewarding about being a young entrepreneur in the fashion industry?
Oh, definitely my customers. And I love seeing people happy, trying something on, purchasing it and feeling so good about themselves. I feel like that is my number one thing, which I drive home and I'm like, oh, I feel so good. Definitely that. And I guess being able to put my own touch on things in the business and
I love buying a new outfit. It makes me feel so good.
Do you think when you were 15 working at Emma Marie, you had a vision that you would one day own it?
Absolutely not. But I didn't know what I wanted to do either. I was that person that was like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. But I was always interested in businesses. When I was 5, we lived in a court and we knew all the neighbours. So it wasn't like my mum just let me out on the street. And I would make earrings and I'd spend hours and hours and hours making earrings. And then I'd knock on every door and I'd sell earrings. Actually, when I was 2, I started off selling my signature on a piece of paper.
How'd that go?
You knew you were going to be famous.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be famous, no. And then I got to earrings and then I got to, I started my own little beauty salon at home. My mum used to come with her friends and they would, I'd give them pedicures. So I don't know, I think maybe I always wanted to have my own business. I didn't know what it was going to be though.
Yeah.
You were at uni, what was the plan after you had graduated?
I think I wasn't completely sure. The course I did was pretty broad, so I could go into anything. But I wasn't sure. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I thought about fashion buying. I thought about fashion buying, which I guess is kind of very much what I'm doing now.
Yeah. It's so hard, I think, because being a teacher and working with teenagers, and especially when I did a lot of taught VC for quite a number of years, it's really hard as a young person to think about what it is you're going to do, because there's so many jobs out there. And even now with the way technology is, there's going to be so many jobs out there that don't even exist currently, which is just crazy. And I feel like there's so much pressure at that point in your life to know where you're going to go.
Absolutely. As a young girl or boy, I feel like you're so lucky that there's so many opportunities, but then it also, exactly, it's so daunting and scary that there is so many things that you can do anything, anything.
Literally.
Yeah, exciting but scary, and so daunting. And I remember going through that stage as well, being like, oh my gosh, you can do anything. What do you mean?
There's too many options. It's like when I go to a restaurant and there's too many options on the menu. I'm like, can someone just pick for me? I think I told you earlier today I was looking for a job, so I'm interviewing, and my last interview was a couple of days ago, and the interviewer was asking me how I went about like looking for their company, and I said that for me, like, opportunities arise through relationships, and they're the ones that I lean towards. And so a lot of intuition that comes into that. And he agreed that his career path was paved out from making decisions based on his gut feeling. And obviously you weren't sure which direction you were going to go in, but would you say that was kind of right for the way Emma Marie came about?
Absolutely.
Kind of like that gut feeling?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I run a lot of my life on gut feelings, which I know it's not for everyone, but yeah, and I had this good feeling, even though it was scary and we were in a lockdown, and no, we hadn't actually gone into a lockdown, but it was scary and things like that. I just knew deep down that it was right for me, and it was going to be hard but rewarding at the same time.
I just got goosebumps because I feel like it's really powerful when you rely on that. Obviously, to some degree, there needs to be logic involved. But sometimes when you get, it's like you rely on that feeling of how something makes you feel, and then it'll always guide you to where you need to go. Yeah, absolutely. I love
that. Yeah, I agree.
So you bought the business just before lockdown and all of that. And I know you went through a rebranding. Change the logo and things like that. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and how you decided to choose what you chose?
Yeah, I knew I didn't want to change the name. That was a big thing because it had a brand and it was known. And it's the same Emma Marie. Even if it had changed name, I feel like people would have been like, I'm going to Emma Marie. I wanted to update the logo and make it a bit more modern. I was 16 years old, so and I think the girls, Emma and Lawrence, did it on Microsoft Word. Like, it was like very long ago. It was very old. So yeah, that was important to me. I just wanted to freshen it up, and the store was renovated, but I wanted to make it feel a bit more warm. So I changed a few little things just to make it feel more me, adding a touch of myself to it.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah.
And it helps you feel like you own it as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I brought in like the homewares, which was like a little gifts. That was an important thing that I wanted to definitely do. Yeah.
Lovely.
I'm just relating to everything that you're saying. So my partner just moved in, and I'm like, I've lived in my place for 3 years, but I'm like, we just furniture that's fresh and new that feels like it's our place. Like, so I totally can understand why. Just a few little touches that make it your own. Yeah. I feel like I've seen so many businesses be taken over by new ownership and then just totally transformed. And I'm like, why did you do that? Like, keep some things true because it was established and successful for a reason. And that's really beautiful that you honored that and kept the name and added your touch. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was important to keep, the name and everything like that because, yeah, exactly.
You recently got married. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You look absolutely beautiful. I had a little stalk earlier. Tell us a little bit about your special day.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was amazing. I can't believe it's already 6 months ago. But yeah, it was the most amazing day. We got married at a winery called Jack Rabbit, so down the Ballerine Peninsula. We hired a nice house and stayed at it with my bridesmaids and the groomsmen, but separate. But yeah, it was the most perfect day. We had the most perfect weather. We were very grateful. And it was just lots of fun. Like, we just both wanted to have a fun day. That was our major thing, which we did. And then, we went on a honeymoon. It was perfect. Couldn't have asked for better.
I think I've been to Jack Rabbit once before. Is that where you can kind of see, you've got like 360 views?
Yes, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, which was like, Matt and I are like very beach people. So it was like, we went there and we're like, done, book.
And being in the fashion industry, how did you find selecting your dress and the bridesmaids' dresses and all the little details? Did you find it work or was it fun? What was your kind of thoughts behind all of that?
Oh, I loved dress shopping. It was the best. I went to so many dress places. Though it was a bit, yeah, it was a lot, but I loved it. Like I loved it. And yeah, I just had a really good feeling in my dress, and that's yeah. And I guess that's what I love when people come into the shop and they try something. I'm always like, "Do you feel good in it? Do you feel good?"
Yeah.
It's like it's such an massive thing. You got to feel good in what you wear. And yeah, that was probably a major point in how I picked my dress, was feeling good.
And it was stunning dress.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
So you actually used busy as the word to describe yourself. How do you balance health and business and all the busyness?
I guess staying fit and active has like always been a huge importance for me. When I don't feel like that, I feel stressed and frazzled. So I try and make it like a big importance that I do like maybe 4 days a week. I've had to dial it back. I used to be a lot more fit and active, but you just can't do it all. You can't like
4 days a week is very active. 4 days a week is really active.
Oh, maybe I'm being.
If that's cutting back.
It's 4 days. You saw me walking today.
We walked into Emma Marie today and Georgia was limping from her delayed muscle soreness.
No, but yeah, I do try and do something, whether it's walking, Murphy, or like, fitting it in, even if it's the morning or after work. I just find it's very important. It's like a de-stress for me.
Definitely. But you would be on your feet all day also, so it would be hard to exercise as well.
Yeah.
And what types of exercise do you enjoy doing, just as an interest?
Yeah, I do Pilates. And I like walking. I've just gotten back into the gym. Clearly, you saw me today. But yeah, I like a mixture of things. I like running, yoga. Yeah, I do it all.
That's
Does it all.
I recently started doing Pilates at home because I have a 2-year-old, so I find it really hard to do any classes because they're always when she's sleeping or it just never works out. But it hurts. You just work so many different muscles because I normally do weights, and yeah, I'm really enjoying my Pilates at the moment.
Yeah, I love Pilates. Like I really love it. It's good. It's like a mixture of like de-stress but also hurting your body.
Definitely.
Sometimes it's nice to just lie down.
Yeah.
In your Pilates class and you're like, yeah, I can do this. I have a couple of things I want to touch on. Earlier, we did discuss a little bit about age and how age can creep in as a factor of maybe feeling like too young to do something. I've definitely felt that in my sales career. I've always been the youngest in any job that I've had. And sometimes I've had doubt creep in to be like, oh, I'm the new person here. I'm the youngest. So I should learn from everyone else because they're older and have more experience than me, which is good to some degree, but it's instilled a lot of self-doubt that I'm overcoming as I get older. Did you face something similar?
Yeah, I am also very self-critical and I've had to really train myself. And yeah, age is a big thing because you'll get people, yeah, it is a huge thing. People just say little comments and it's not in a bad way, but you just take it to heart and you doubt yourself, I feel like, especially when you're younger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like even now I'm like 29, but that's very young for a lot of people. Our main audience is like 24 to probably 40. So what would your advice be to someone that is younger that has those self-doubt moments?
Back yourself. Age seriously means nothing. And I've had to tell myself this as well. You can achieve anything. It doesn't matter the age or anything. You just have to back yourself because you're your best supporter.
Yeah. And I'm going back to what your partner pushing you again, because I really love that. But it's like being able to see yourself through their eyes. And if only we could, then we wouldn't have those like little moments of self-doubt, which sometimes creep in.
Yeah.
But that's so nice that you have your partner as your biggest support as well. I think that's special. Not everyone has that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very lucky. He's a huge supporter of me.
Something else I wanted to touch on too that you mentioned with even just like, coming home from work and walking Murphy is I think I read this book once. It's called The Third Space, and I'm going to butcher it, but basically it's about having a ritual in the morning that separates your home life from your work life, and then having something when you get home. So I think the author had literally a room in his house that was the third space. So when he'd come home from work, he'd go into this third space that separated his day from his family life so that he could show up and be the best version of himself for the next phase of the day, which I thought was really interesting. So even though sometimes we're like, oh, I just walked Murphy after work, like I try to fit it in. It's like, the way that I interpreted that was like, that's your third space, So it's like we definitely already consciously do that.
Yeah, I find I get home from work and I walk Murphy, and then Matt and I like always, it's very important for us that we don't talk about work, don't bring like any work to the dinner table, and we just eat and talk about our day. We talk about our days, but like not work. We try not to talk about work related, otherwise it just gets overwhelming.
We'll be back
after a short break.
39 Degrees have created a hot spring experience that you don't need to book, plan, or even leave the house because they know you've already got a full mental load.
Michelle and Susie created their signature bath tonic to replicate the moment as soon as you step into a hot spring. It's all natural, derived, vegan-friendly, and suitable for all skin types and every single body.
Nava listeners get to enjoy a special 15% off with code NAVA15. That's NAVA15. Now let's get back to the conversation.
Okay, so having to buy things 12 months in advance, you would obviously have an idea of what fashion trends are coming. What's your prediction for what's ahead in the upcoming season?
Ooh, red. If you want to know colour, red for winter is big.
Next winter is red. Okay.
Red. Yep. Lots of sets still. So if you think they're pajamas, you got to get out. There's lots of sets. Lots of knitwear again. I feel like the last 2 winters there wasn't much knitwear. Like it kind of was more shirting, but there's lots of knits back. Lots of beautiful textures, and winter's good. Winter's good.
I love winter.
Yeah, it's going to be a good season.
I love the red for like disrupting Melbourne fashion.
Yes.
Good.
How would you describe your personal style, and how do you feel like that is injected into your store?
I'm very classic, which I guess I try and buy lots of classic and timeless things. I feel like it's important for me this isn't a lazy comment, but like easy go-to items. I just find it makes your whole wardrobe easy. And I do try and buy a lot of things like that so customers they can pair it back with lots of different items. I guess just keeping it very timeless and classic is my style. And I do try and bring that into the store.
Yeah, the capsule wardrobe, I think, is definitely something I've been trying to create in my own closet. Things I can wear even if it's the next season. But I do always like to hit a couple fun pieces for the season.
Capsule wardrobe is great, and it's great that they've brought that out because you can wear your clothes longer instead of just wearing it for a season and be like, it's out of fashion. Where now, like, you buy items and they can be in your wardrobe for 4+ years and they're still like a go-to, which I love. I love that. It's good for the environment. It's good for everyone.
Yeah. And speaking of environment, a couple of weeks ago you had your market stall where some of your pre-loved pieces were for purchase. Can you talk to our listeners a little bit about that, and if that's something you might consider doing again on the note of sustainability?
Mm-hmm. We've done it a couple of times where all of us girls that work in the shop, we bring in all our pre-loved clothes and sell them. We find it's good. Like, it's good for those that maybe missed out or they couldn't afford it full price. And it also gives the items a second life. Like, you're not just throwing it out, which feels so sad. And especially working in fashion, you do have, as bad as it is, you kind of have to be up to date in new items. So it's nice that we don't have to, like, we're not throwing it out because they're all still perfect. We're just giving it a second life to someone else. And like, I love those market days. It's fun. People get so excited. And I had a lady, I think she was like, she was maybe 80, an 80-year-old lady. And she came in last week and she had this jacket that she brought for me and she wanted to show me. And she's like, oh my God, I've been wearing it every day. I love it so much. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. Like, I love that. But yeah, it's recycled on.
Yeah, that's good. So good. And I think that's special that you've been able to incorporate that in your business and that you've done it a couple of times now. I think that's really great.
So is this something you do in the boutique?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Lovely. Love that. I'm going to come to the next one.
Yeah, come to the next.
I have a personal question. What is your go-to outfit?
Oh, that was going to be my question. I was going to say the lazy girl outfit thing really resonated with me.
Yeah, like what's Georgia's unique style?
I'm a jean girl. Like, I love denim jeans. I've got, my drawer is overflowing with jeans. I've got every style and every fit. So I feel like jeans and a white t-shirt and a sandal. Lazy girl, but we need a bit of sun for that.
Yeah.
What are some go-to denim brands?
Well, I love New Denim. I also really love Vic and Woods jeans. I think they're great and they're a bit quirky.
So you have an amazing following on Emma Marie on your Instagram. I'd love to know, and I'm sure listeners would too, what you kind of do to stay up to date. Do you schedule your posts? What's your thought process behind how you curate your page?
So I do it all myself. We do have a lovely lady who comes and takes photos. So she takes all the content, sends it all to us, edits it, which is a huge lifesaver and time. Yeah, it's a lot of time to do all that stuff.
Definitely.
So she'll send it and then I just post as we go. We always post our new arrivals. We try and post daily. We keep it very...
So you've got your little recipe that you're following and that's, it's clearly working very well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are there any family traditions or values that have influenced your journey in fashion and entrepreneurship?
I guess to stay true to myself, to be honest. They were always huge morals in my family. And I always try and do that in my business.
No, I think that's beautiful. I think staying true to yourself is something that a lot of people can get lost in, including me probably as well. Everyone, which to some degree, like, you want to be authentic to yourself and what rings true to you. And I think that's, if anything, probably the most important value you can instill in anyone. So, and seeing that being reflected in your business is definitely what consumers pick up on and can understand. And that's probably why you've built such a loyal customer base, because you've got that. You've stayed true to yourself. It's reflected in your service. Even the story of the 80-year-old lady coming back to show you her jacket, like, that's so special. And there's not many times that I would go back to show my jacket to someone. So that's a testament to who you are and the business that you've continued to build upon. So well done.
Thank you. It's special.
So Nava represents the core values we explore in our podcast. So we'll start with navigate. How do you set clear goals? Setting goals and creating a plan and staying focused is something that's particularly challenging for me. Leah's really good at it, but I sometimes stray. Like, we were talking about it in our last podcast episode where I was like, if I write something on a list, it's like, it's to the list now, and that's the burden of the list. I'm not doing it. But Leah's like, writes it down, gets it done. So how do you set clear goals, Georgia?
Well, I used I'm a bit like you. I used to have no list, and I wouldn't. This would make people cringe, but I didn't even use my calendar. I just remembered everything. But it got to a point where I was like, this is ridiculous. My brain is like exploding. And I now have to have a list. But I don't have to tick everything off. That's important for me because I feel like I was getting at the start when I started my list, I was like, oh my God, I'm getting overwhelmed. This is always a list. But I have like important goals, things that can wait, and I just slowly get through them.
No, that's really good.
I feel like there's a lot of pressure to like do things a certain way. Like we don't all have to think the same. So even if it did work for you to never have a calendar, I think that's fine. But obviously there's a point where you're like you're mentally exhausted. So you like need to get that out into something, over there in the calendar, and it's dealt with.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
So A is for aspire. What advice do you have for individuals who are looking to dream big and set ambitious goals for themselves?
To be true to yourself. I think I said this earlier, but it's so important. You need to be true to yourself, and take a risk. Take a risk. It's worth it. It's stressful, but it can be worth it. But stay true along the whole journey.
I feel like I'm going to be the biggest risk taker after we finish like season 2. I'm going to be taking risks left, right, and centre. Watch out. B is for value. How do you prioritize self-care and maintain a healthy work-life balance?
Sundays are like so important for me. I make sure like that's a Murphy, Matt and I day. We always go down to the beach. I see my friends a lot. I try and exercise a lot. So I try and bring it all in, but having, a balance of it all.
So Sunday's like your reset for the week. It's like the day for you. It's a day to spend with your family and go to the beach, which you guys love. And then you're ready to take on the week's challenges.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Try and get organized on a Sunday and
I'm not working at the moment. I've been off work for about 7 months. So I'm like, I have no reset day. I don't even know what day it is today. It's nice to hear people have structure in their lives. A is for achieve.
Yep. So based on your own experiences, what practical steps or strategies would you suggest to our audience?
I guess networking. I feel like networking is a huge one. Talking to people, learning from people, in all different industries. It doesn't have to be in the industry that you're in, because I think the biggest advice is just to learn from people. There's so many people that have been through where you are, and they've achieved like all different things. So it's good to learn like what they've been through, how they did it, and what experiences they went through to get there.
Yeah, that's really interesting because you can then like curate and grab all the little bits and pieces and tailor it to what it is that you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Where can our audience find you?
Online, emmamarie.com.au. We have a first-time subscriber, so you're welcome to use that. It's 15% off.
All right, beautiful. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. We were so excited to chat, and it's been, a really beautiful conversation, and we can't wait to share it with our listeners.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Georgia. That's a wrap for this episode. If you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review.
And remember, you can always find more episodes and updates on our website and social media page. You can find us on Instagram at nava.podcast. Until next time,
keep chasing your dreams and making your mark on the world.